Hi there, my name is Mickey Parsons.
Hi, I'm Becky.
My wife and I have been members of St. Anne's for several years. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend St. Anne's School, but attended PSR regularly and received my confirmation here at St. Anne's. I grew up attending Mass regularly with my family on Sundays. They did their best to make sure my brother and I were living the faith. I remember helping my dad with collection in the annex before the remodel with the baskets with the long handles, stretching out as far as I could to reach those seated in the middle. After Mass was over, we would go home, and very seldom would we ever talk about any of the readings or discuss the homily. It just seemed like a place that we would go as a family on Sundays because we had to.
I attended St. Anne's for a few years growing up before moving to St. Joe Parish, where I attended PSR and received my confirmation. I currently work at St. Anne's in the school's kitchen and enjoyed seeing the children daily. We were married here in 2004 and have 3 kids enrolled here. Wade is our youngest in the 1st grade, Elizabeth is in 7th, and Wyatt is in his final year here in the 8th grade. It's so hard to believe he's almost in high school. It wasn't very long after we got married that we decided to have children. As most of you know, it's difficult to attend Mass with newborn babies and toddlers. Somehow, I became more worried about whom I was bothering with the crying baby or a toddler talking than actually listening to the readings or the homily. We eventually would find reasons not to attend Mass, whether the kids were tired or we were tired, or we had something planned later in the day, and slowly by slowly, our relationship with God began to fade.
We would attend Mass once in a while, and we'd see a lot of the same people, but knew no one. We would see people talking after Mass, and I would think to myself, how much I would like a closer relationship with those I'd see on Sunday. I would read the bulletin about activities within the church and wish somehow I could fit that into my lifestyle. I remember when Becky and I would talk about how nice it would be to know more people in the parish. So we didn't feel like such strangers. Once the kids were old enough to start PSR, it gave us the opportunity to grow a little bit closer to the church. Well, it didn't take long, and we had our first PSR meeting with the other parents to prepare for the festival. A few of the parents knew each other. Some spoke English, some spoke Spanish, but either way, we were able to think of games and ideas and ways that we could contribute with the festival. I remember meeting Carlos and Patty Silva that morning, how friendly and welcoming they were. As we worked together, putting a plan together. This was all new to us, but we were so excited to be a part of something like the festival.
Our kids didn't start out attending St. Anne's. We had always wanted them to go to a Catholic school, but there was something holding us back from enrolling them here. And to this day, we really don't know why. Wyatt and Elizabeth attended Enterprise for a couple years until the city decided to move the boundary lines and forced our kids into a different school. At the time, I thought, what a hassle. Why would they do that? I know now that this was God at work, and He had a different plan for us and our children. We talked it over and decided if they needed to change schools, then why not move them to St. Anne's? After all, it's what we always wanted. This was the best decision we had ever made.
Once the kids were enrolled, it became apparent rather quickly that we were not living the faith, and changes needed to be made. We began to put God first in our lives and make it a priority to attend Mass every Sunday. Not only were the kids learning by attending St. Anne's, we were also. As time went on, I could see how happy our kids were here at St. Anne's, and I knew this would change their lives and mine forever. About 5 years ago, Father David asked Becky and I to stand up here and talk a little bit about stewardship, what it was and how it was at work in our lives. I thought to myself at the time, who? Me? I'm no steward. What can I say to any of you that would make sense? This is all new to me. Looking back now, I feel like this was a way for Becky and I to examine our lives of stewardship and see if we were on the right path. So we stood up here, defined stewardship, asked for your friendship, and offered to help around the parish. What we got in return was something that I had always wanted all my life. After Mass, we were hugged, welcomed by so many, my hand shaken, greeted with open arms and open hearts. I am forever thankful to all of you. Thank you, Father David, for that opportunity that has led us, our family, to such wonderful things.
As stewardship was something new to me, and I was learning what it was, I was eager to find a way to make it a priority in my life. Over time, I learned that we were obliged to be stewards of the church, continuing the redemptive work of Jesus, which is one of the church's essential missions. It's a personal responsibility of each one of us here at St. Anne and in our own way to try to carry out its mission. As we grow in our faith and our relationship with God, we have been led to acts of stewardship around the church that have strengthened our family's bond and our marriage. Leading by example is very important to us, whether we are ushering, delivering Meals on Wheels, or pulling weeds in the flower bed at church. We do it as a family. When our children willingly volunteer to clean up around the church, or volunteer at the festival, or take time on a Saturday to serve at a funeral or a wedding, it gives me the reassurance that God is at work in our lives. At times, we are asked to do something for someone or for the church, and it'll seem like the most inconvenient time or very difficult. But over the years, we have learned that those times are when it's most important to say yes. God has always had a way of showing himself to us. Several months ago, we accepted the position of chairpersons for the festival, and are so thankful to all of its volunteers. You all worked so hard to help make this year's festival one that I will never forget. This position gave us a chance to meet so many new people and grow much closer to others. I would like to give a special thanks to the past chairpersons for their guidance and the planning committee, Father JD and Father David for their support and guidance, Sherry Talbot for the promotions, Jessica Suit, entertainment, Carla Renteria, financial secretary, Elka Marks, banquet, Angie C., movie night, Oscar Raimundo, food court, AJ Nutter, facilities. Thank you again for all the sacrifices you made and the long hours you logged. Also, thank you to all those who helped. It really takes all of us working together to make the festival what it has become.
With all this said, it just goes to show that one small act of stewardship or one small step in the right direction can get your foot in the door and lead you and your family to a life of happiness. If you'd be interested in planning next year's festival, I urge you to contact the office, and we look forward to visiting with you. Thank you for listening to our story, and have a wonderful day. God bless.